Yes folks, welcome back to the Physical Performance Hub, and today we're going to look at 3 of our favourite core exercises which we use all the time with our athletes and in particular our footballers as well. The best bit is they require no equipment whatsoever. So without much further ado, let's get into it. So the first one we're going to look at is a Superman hold with an arm raise. Now essentially we're going to get into a press up position with our feet slightly wider to give us a nice stable base. But I want us to think about a cup of water or a glass of water on our lower back, which we don't want to spill. We don't want to let that water spill. You'll see why. So I'm going to go into a press up position, nice flat back, create a nice wide stance with our feet, and I'm going to take one hand off. Now straight away you can hear it in my voice that my body's having to work really hard. My core's working hard to not fall down on that side where I've taken my hand away. Now if I let my hips rock, that glass is going to spill everywhere, my water's going to go everywhere. So I've got to try and keep those hips really flat, even when I take those hands away from that side. Now you can hear it straight away. My core's working really hard. Now this is a great one for footballers because we're looking at these body-to-body contacts, not getting twisted, not getting pushed over, working these parts of our core, our obliques, but also our abs to make sure we're staying really, really strong, not getting pushed off the ball. So give it a go. Hold for a couple of seconds, 3 to 5 seconds is fine. If you want to go longer, by all means do, but sort of go 5 each side, 6 each side. If you're brave, go 10 each side, holding it for a little bit of time. Don't spill that water. But that's the first one. Let's have a look at the next one. Second one we're going to look at is technically 2 in 1, but I'm going to give you a slightly easy version, a slightly harder version. It's a side plank dip. If they're too easy, we're going to look at the side plank with this as a kick. So essentially you've got to get into a side plank position. Really, really important with this one though, make sure our elbow is directly below our shoulder. We don't want to be too far away. It's going to put excess strain through our shoulder. So directly below, a nice stable base for us. Feet on top of each other if you can, if you have to go that way, not the end of the world, but ideally try and keep your feet on top of each other, just makes everything in a nice straight line. What we want to try and do as well is keep our head relatively backwards. Don't look down at your feet because you start to crouch over and you start to fall forward. So we're going to stay in this nice, long, straight line. Now with the side plank dip, all we're going to do is we're going to drop our hips down and drive up. Drop our hips down, drive up. Drop our hips down, drive up. And you can do sort of 6, 8 to 10 each side. You'll feel that right the way down here, mainly into our obliques. Again, a really, really good one for those body-to-body contacts with footballers, athletes in general, field-based sports, etc. Stop us from having those big, big movements where our whole torso is going from side to side, keep us nice and strong. Now, if that's too easy, we can go into the scissor kick, and this one's hard. So again, exact same position. If you want to keep your hands on your hips for this one, by all means do. Into this position, all we're going to do is going to raise one leg, back down. Raise one leg, back down. Raise one leg, back down. And again, you can hear the strain in my voice, much, much harder. Because it's a bit more dynamic and this leg's moving, this side, my side here, my obliques are really switched on right now. They've had to work really, really hard. So give it a go. Try both variations. The scissor kick one is a little bit harder. Maybe start with the side plank dips, but if you find them easy, get yourself onto the scissor kick. But that's number 2. Let's have a look at number 3. Exercise number 3 then. You might have noticed in the first 2, they were looking a little bit more at our obliques, the side of our core, kind of stopping us the anti-rotation element, but also stopping our whole trunk from moving too far one way or the other. This one we're going to look at more of our overall posture, certainly more of our abdominals, so down the middle of our core. Really, really good one for, when we're decelerating, we don't want to end up crumpling into a ball when we're trying to stop really quickly. We want to try and stay quite tall with a good posture, nice tall chest, tall shoulders, etc. So this is a really good one. It's called the crucifix holds. The key to this is keeping our lower back stuck to the floor. You'll see what I mean. So when I go back, I'm going to try and have my lower back really stuck to the floor, feet off the floor. I'm going to try and bring my head, my shoulders off the floor, hover my arms out to the side. I'm going to lengthen my feet away from my body and create this nice crucifix position. Hold for a couple of seconds, bring it back in to ease it off. Hold for a couple of seconds, bring my feet back in to ease it off. The way you make this easier or harder is how long you hold your feet away from your body for, how long you hold that crucifix position. Now, we typically do sort of 5 sets of 5 seconds. If that's a little bit too easy, obviously just hold it for a bit more, or you can do sort of 6 seconds, etc. But again, play around with it. If you start to feel a little bit in your lower back, by all means, what you can do is tuck your hands underneath your lower back just to give it a little bit of support. Exact same thing, still helps though. All right, so play around with those 2. But play around with the timings. Like I say, 5 seconds as 1 set, 2 or 3 sets is a really, really good way to get you started. But have a go. So there you go, there's our 3 exercises. We've looked at sort of that anti-rotation element with the Superman holds, we've looked at the side plank variations, and then we've looked at those crucifix holds. Sort of really focusing on our posture, our good positions, nice straight backs, and that element of not rotating when we're having those tough positions. So give them a go. Thank you ever so much for watching. If you're not already, please subscribe to the channel, like the videos, share them with anyone who think we might find them useful. Always helps. Spread the message, spread these videos to more and more athletes. But that'll do it for this one, and I will see you in the next video.